midnight dash. Melissa stumbled out of the crowded club, her ears still ringing from the pulsating music. She squinted at the bright neon signs of Manhattan as she weaved her way through the city streets, the smells of champagne and tequila mingling in her foggy mind. Her dead phone was buried deep in her purse, and she was unable to hail a cab. Just when she started to feel hopeless, a sleek black car appeared from the shadows offering her salvation. The driver's rough voice assaulted her senses when he asked if she needed an Uber. Melissa eagerly climbed into the back seat, grateful for a ride. The car's interior was a mix of old and new, with hints of musty leather and a dampness that added to her disorientation. The scent brought back memories of her grandfather's antique shop, where she'd played hide and seek as a child. She slurred out her destination, the East Village. As they drove through the city, Melissa felt like she was in a hearse. The speedometer remained stuck at 0, while Jeff, the driver, seemed almost a ghostly figure in the darkness. He drummed his fingers on the steering wheel, humming a haunting tune as he drove, seemingly disconnected from his own body. Fear crept into Melissa's drunken haze as she attempted to make conversation with Jeff, but it was like speaking to a mere shadow instead of an actual human being. Suddenly, a burst of static erupted from the radio, its sound whispers of forgotten secrets. The car filled with an eerie atmosphere as the voices grew louder and more distinct. In the blink of an eye, the bustling city vanished, leaving behind a desolate landscape of barren trees reaching toward a blood-red sky. The pale light of the moon cast an eerie glow over everything, stripping the environment of all color and leaving it in shades of bone and ash. The air was still and heavy, weighing down on Melissa's chest like a suffocating blanket. Panic clawed at her insides as she realized she had been transported to a realm beyond her comprehension. Mr. Jeff," she stammered, her voice barely audible in the oppressive silence. What is happening? Where are we?" Jeff turned his head slowly, his eyes devoid of any human emotion, his lips curled into a sinister smile. "Welcome to the in-between, Melissa, a place where lost souls find themselves, trapped between the realms of the living and the dead." Panic coiled in Melissa's gut as she reached for the door handle, but it disintegrated beneath her touch. Jeff's eyes glinted like molten gold, his face etched with wrinkles. He spoke stories of ancient deities, rituals, and blood sacrifices, each word hardening Melissa's fear into a crystalline clarity. The Uber ride had taken a dark turn, morphing into a twisted journey through a nightmare realm. The car screeched to a halt in front of a massive monolith crafted from obsidian. Its surface pulsed with an otherworldly energy. Jeff stepped out of the car, his figure silhouetted against the ominous glow, inviting Melissa to join him on the descent into darkness. Melissa's heart pounded in her chest as she watched Jeff disappear into thin air, and though she felt a mixture of fear and curiosity, the alluring power of the mysterious void was too strong for her to resist. With a deep breath, she flung open the car door and stepped out onto the cold ground. As soon as her feet touched the earth, a jolt of energy surged through Melissa's body. The monolith loomed before her, pulsating with an otherworldly intensity that seemed to match the rhythm of her own heartbeat. Fascinated and compelled, she took hesitant steps forward, drawn closer to the source of its power. Melissa stumbled through the dark, each step forward seemingly charging the monolith, her presence somehow willing it to life. As she drew closer, Melissa noticed strange symbols etched into its smooth surface. Tentatively, Melissa reached out, running her fingers over the intricate patterns, feeling a sense of recognition wash over her. As her gaze lifted to the darkening sky, Melissa's heart lurched in horror as she spotted the grotesque forms of creatures with mangled, tattered wings descending on her. The air was filled with a cacophony of rasping screeches, each one like a sharp knife piercing her eardrums. Melissa cringed and covered her ears, stumbling backward, the weight of the moment settling heavily upon her. A soft voice broke through the pandemonium. "Melissa," it whispered, "you hold the key." Confused, Melissa searched for the source of the voice, finding no origin for the sound. Instead, a small golden key glinted in the darkness, nestled within a crevice of the monolith. Trembling with anticipation, Melissa reached out and grasped it in her hand. As soon as her fingers closed around the key, a surge of power coursed through her veins. The creatures let out a final ear-splitting screech as their twisted forms unraveled and dissolved into nothingness, their grotesque silhouettes disappearing into thin air, leaving behind a void of darkness in the once blood-red sky. Slowly, the crimson tint faded away, revealing a stunning tapestry of shimmering stars scattered across the endless expanse above. Melissa stood in awe, clutching the key. Its warm glow infused her with newfound confidence and purpose. She was aware that she now possessed the means not only to flee this realm, but also to reveal the solutions to the enigmas that plagued her own world. With determination fueling her every step, Melissa turned away from the monolith and sprinted toward the car. As she climbed back into the sleek black vehicle, she glanced at her reflection in the rearview mirror. Her eyes were no longer clouded with fear. They burned with an otherworldly fire. "Take me home," she commanded to the car with no driver, her voice clear and unwavering. The car lurched to life, hurtling through the now familiar streets of Manhattan. The key in her hand pulsed with energy, urging her onward to face the trials that awaited her. Jeff was nowhere to be seen, but Melissa knew he would be back. She had escaped, but she knew it was only a matter of time before he, or whatever he represented, would return. Until then, she had work to do. As the car pulled up to her apartment building, Melissa stepped out onto the sidewalk, keys in hand. The smell of exhaust and the city's never-ending buzz welcomed her back like old friends. She glanced over her shoulder at the Uber and shivered, certain that it was watching her with baleful eyes. Straightening her shoulders, she strode towards the safety of her building. Melissa's mind was a tumultuous swirl of memories from the night. Though still clouded by the potent mix of tequila and champagne, she felt an undeniable sense of rebirth. With the key in her possession and hanging from her neck, she was now a fierce protector, a warrior against the sinister creatures that lurked beneath the dazzling facade of the city lights. An inferno roared within her, fueled by a fierce determination to annihilate every last trace of darkness that threatened to consume her world. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Thank you for watching.